Hello everybody and welcome back to another Halo editing video, and today we are going to be covering a handful of stuff. The overall I guess objective of this video is to do a scenario where the AI follow you. So there's a group of AI following you, then you come across like a turret or defended position, and then they stop following you until you kill the guys that are manning the turret. And then they will start following you again. And this entire, I guess, scenario was requested by GG Bon. And he was also having some problems with, I guess, following in general. And when it comes to, I guess, troubleshooting for this stuff, I don't know. The only thing I can really say is delete all your stuff, go back, and then follow what I do in the first video as closely as possible, because I don't know what to. I don't have the specifics, so I can't look through and see what's gone wrong. Because when things stop working with stuff like this, one thing could be off, or like 5 different things could be off. So the best thing I could say is just go back and then follow what I do exactly. Or try to. But, in this one, we're going to be doing several things to, I guess, set up the entire scenario. The first one is going to be how to get, I guess, a different vehicle in your Sapien scenario. And then we're going to be covering more scripting, because that obvious you have to do scripting to get this shit to work. We're going to be scripting how to get AI to enter a vehicle, and it's going to be basically how to get one guy to go in here, and then when he dies, one more guy will get in, and then when he dies, the final guy will get in. So they're keeping the vehicle manned until they're out of people. That's basically what we're going to be doing. And yeah, I think that's about it. The entire follow scenario, the entire follow thing I've built, it's basically a repeat of the one I did in the first video. It's basically the same thing. I got all these squads here, which they got automatic migration checked. I got every letter of firing positions I placed. I got a squad for it, and then I got that squad assigned to the same letter. And this time I spawned my guys in C. I spawned by A, and I spawned all my AI buddies that are going to be following me in C right here. And, when you do that, they don't really follow you right away. You have to, like, get up to B really quick, and then they'll start following you, and then they'll follow you to A. But if you just stay by A, they won't really follow you. It's kind of weird. And actually, I want to, where's my trigger? You need 1 trigger for this. I'll get to that later. The trigger's right there. So I want to, yeah, I want, god damn it, can we see these fucking things, please? So these right here. So let's, I want to turn a few of these back to D here. Just to see if the AI is capable of skipping a set of firing positions. Because when they start following me again, I'm probably going to be all the way up here by G. So I'm going to set a few more of these to D. Yeah, right here. I think I'll make, oh, come on. God damn, these. I'll make these 2 D as well. No. Oh, shit, I went the wrong way. Alright, there we go. Every time you compile the script, make sure you save afterwards. That's just a little tip. And if your Sapien just randomly decides to crash, like if you open something up and it just crashes out of nowhere, just restart your computer, because that happened to me before I started recording this. It just crashed for no reason. So if that happens and you haven't, like, fucked with anything seriously, then just restart your computer, because that seems to work for me. But Be careful with this shit. Things break real easy. So, I think we'll cover this in, I guess, the easiest thing to the most complex thing. So, how to get a different vehicle in here, because for Infinity, we have multiplayer Warthog, the Ghost, Rocket Warthog, Covenant Gun Turret multiplayer, which I totally missed that the first time, which is why I added this, but doesn't matter. And then we had a Banshee. So what I did, I took out the Banshee and added the gun turret. And right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for some reason, I don't know why, doesn't really matter. Each scenario can only contain 6 vehicles. I've seen some stuff about how to get above that limit, but you probably shouldn't fuck with that. I don't know. That seems like best not to fuck with that type of stuff. But yeah, to add another vehicle, you don't even need to be in Sapien. Or I guess to add another class of vehicle. To add a vehicle in Sapien, you need to be in Sapien, but whatever. So, the way to do that, you have to edit your scenario file, which is done through Gorilla, which is... it should be in the same exact area as Sapien. It should be in your base directory. And it's gorilla.exe. It's got a red gorilla as its icon. So you just open that up. And then you go to File, Open, and then you go to your scenario, the same exact file that Sapien opens. So we're in tags right now. So I would go to Levels. You could have a level in the Levels folder, like Player Size Test. Then you just open the .scenario, but mine is in Test first, and then Bob Infinity, and then in Bob Infinity.scenario. So you just open that up, and then you start scrolling. And this is basically all the options for your scenario. It's got a whole bunch of shit. You got object names, you got all this scenery. It's basically like a incredibly analytical version of the scenario. And then you don't go to vehicles here. You go to vehicles palette, which is a palette of vehicles, a bunch of vehicles. So when you click the drop down bar right here, you see you got all 5 vehicles, the same drop down bar you saw earlier in Sapien. So it's all the same vehicles. And if you want to delete one, you just click delete. And right here we have 5, so we wouldn't actually need to delete anything because I have 1 more space because we can only add a max of 6. So if we wanted to add another one, which we only have 5 right now, so if you have 6, you would just select the one you want to delete it, or you can just fucking delete all of it, doesn't matter. And then you just hit add, and then you get some scenario name placeholder shit. And then to actually add the vehicle, you click these 3 dots. And then when you get here, you go find the .vehicle file. So you would go back to the tags folder, which is where everything is. Everything runs off tags in this game. So then you go to tags, vehicles, and then you find the folder you want, the vehicle. So we'll go to Scorpion, and then you find the .vehicle. So right here, we got Sapien.vehicle, Scorpion Cinematic.vehicle, Scorpion Multiplayer.vehicle. So we'll just do the Scorpion.vehicle, and then you do that, and then you would save your file. I'm not going to do it now because Sapien's open right now, and I don't want to find out what the hell happens when I do that. But that's how you do it. You save this, and then you open Sapien, and you'll be able to spawn Scorpions or any other vehicle file you put in there. So that's how you do that. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So now we have the single-player version of the gun turret, which I don't know if the single-player version or the multiplayer version, I don't know if that matters at all. And then you place vehicles by going to Units, Vehicles, and all these. Don't worry about all these settings if you're going to place a new vehicle, because it just keeps all the settings from a previously placed vehicle. For this one, for example, Turret 1, Covenant Gun Turret. But if I just click right here, then it'll keep the name. Oh no, it'll keep the type, but the name will just be done. So you can put in whatever the hell you want. And again, whenever you're selecting stuff in here, be very careful. Starting locations, vehicles, triggers, be very careful because you can easily you can easily, if you click out here, you can easily select like everything. So just like, if you want to deselect everything and start fresh, just click it to a new folder, come back, and then you select what you want, and then you'll only be working with that. A lot of times I've accidentally renamed literally everything because it's annoying. But there you go, that's how you get a different type of vehicle in here that doesn't spawn with the map. So now, I'm not gonna really go over how to place all these, what to do to get to set up the infrastructure for the AI to follow you. You just spawn how many letter, I'm not gonna go over it. I still have trouble explaining that, jeez. But, now now you spawn the encounter, the guys you want to man the gun. Which, for this, I want one squad in this encounter to not man the gun at all. We got squad 1 here. These guys, they're not gonna spawn, or they're not gonna man the gun. They're just gonna stand right here, so they're in a different squad. But we got the turret squad right here, which is these 3. So I want these 3 guys to man the gun, and I want them to man it each time it becomes empty. So I think I already went over this, but this guy, he mans it from the start, I kill him, then this guy mans it, I kill him, then this guy mans it. Then I kill him. And to do that, we pretty much need a continuous script. So something that's going to fire over and over and over again. So it gives the effect of them going in there to reman it. So I think we'll go to the scripting. I think I'll cover how to set up a script. I'll do that again because this is the first real scripting video. In each of these videos now, I think I'll start linking the page I'm using to get all these commands because it's damn helpful. Holy shit! So, to set up a script for your level, well, yeah, you would go to your tags, levels, test, and then this shit. You'd go to your scenario file, except you do this exact directory. You copy this directory, but you start in the data folder. So data, levels, test, map name, and then in the map, you create a scripts folder. Then you create a scripts file, which is an HSC file. And the way you get that, you create a new TXT file. Doesn't matter what the hell it's named. You open it up. Then you do save as. You make sure you save it as all files. It can be saved as any file. And then you get rid of the TXT extension. Then you do HSC extension. Then you save that. And make sure it's named scripts. I didn't do that because it's already there. But when you save as your HSC, make sure it's named scripts. Otherwise it won't work. Exactly like your folder. And make sure the folder is spelled the exact same way it is here. So that's how you create an HSC. TXT, save as, switch it to all files, replace the extension, and then there you go. It'll read it. That's probably the last time I'm going to go over that, but this is the first, I guess, actual scripting focused one. So, now we will look at some scripts, which we got right here. I said in the first following video that I would copy the script I used into the description. I forgot it and I fucked around, so the script no longer exists, but I will definitely copy this one in the description. Because this one just has more going on. There's more, I guess, examples in this. But, for the first thing, you just do this, the script static. This basically defines the player 0, as a unit that is able to be recognized by your trigger, or any trigger. You'd put the unit name there. Actually, you'd put the unit name in parentheses. So player 0, that is the thing that is the object that this volume is testing for. And that volume is the unfollow trigger, which I'll show that later when I go through step by step what this does and why it's happening. But first we want to cover the continuous script, the thing that makes these three guys get in whenever this is empty. And that's a pretty simple command. You do script continuous, then you give it whatever name you want. I just did turret. Make sure you close it with I guess those what are they called? Not bracket. I guess those are used as brackets, but whatever. I don't know. You close it with these things. Shift 9 and Shift 0. There we go. But then the command in there will be an AI underscore go to vehicle. That's the command, AI go to vehicle. And then you define what type of AI encounter. Now, when you, if you were to just type the squad, just like this, it would not recognize it. Because the way this game works, the way the scripting works, it goes encounter, and then it can choose a squad or a platoon. And you have to define that. If you just do this, if you just do the encounter, the enemy's encounter, you can see it right here. This is the enemy's encounter, and then this is the turret squad. If you just had it like this, both of these squads would be running this command. So we want only these three guys in the turret squad. So to define which squad under the encounter, you do a / and then you type the squad name after you type the encounter. So enemies / turret squad. So now this command will be assigned to only these three guys. And then for when it comes to these AI go to vehicle commands, you have to define with a string which seat they're getting into. And there's 3 seats. There's gunner, driver, and passenger. And all those are spelt as you'd expect. Driver would be spelt like that. Passenger just like that, and gunner like that. So, and you do have to do this. Even though there's only one possible seat for this gun, for this turret, you still have to define which seat they're getting into. So there you go. That's very, very basic command, and it'll give the effect that it'll just give the effect of them refilling it every time it's empty, because it's continuous. So it'll be shoving this command down their throat every tick, which I think there are 30 ticks a sec. Yeah, 30 ticks a second for the game. So that's gonna happen quite quickly. But yeah, now we will get to the following, stop following, and then start following when these guys die. So, for a very simple script like this, you probably don't need to do a dormant. You don't need to do a startup, then wake a dormant. But when you got like a whole bunch of different scripts going on, it's probably best to have each little section of your map, of your mission, that requires scripting, have each little section be its own dormant script. Because if you have everything in here, that's going to be fucking crazy to figure out. But yeah, you do just type startup, script startup, then you give it a name. I like to give mine base because it's just a base of operations. And then you wake 1, which correlates to the dormant script. So you wake script dormant 1. That's going to happen right away because that's a startup script. And then the first thing that this script is going to do is going to do AI follow target players followers. So it's going to tell followers here to follow the nearest player at the nearest possible set of firing positions. And then they're going to follow you around wherever. Unless you tell them something different, which we are about to. And this is where the trigger comes in. We have a trigger volume set up right here. Just like in the first video, except this is just the unfollow trigger. Or whatever you want to name it. Because we're scripting them to start following you right away. We don't need a trigger to tell them to start following you in this one. So, after you tell them to start following you, you do a sleep until command. And then you tell them to sleep until the player enters the volume of unfollow trigger until the player enters this. Or I guess more literally until the unfollow trigger, I guess, realizes that player 0 is in it. Then, and it will check that every 1 tick. So when this happens, the script will continue, and then we will do AI follow target disable, and for the same encounter, so these guys that were following us will now stop following, and then just kind of stay at their return state in whatever set of firing positions they stopped in last. And then we do another sleep until command right here. So sleep until the AI living count of enemies / turret squad, the same squad that we had man the turret, until the AI living count equals 0, and check for that every 1 second. So, this is a little bit weird, I guess just grammatically, in terms of like, I guess English and all that stuff. You know, this is fucking computer speak, so it's weird. But you do the basic sleep command. You do this right here, and then it ends right here. And then you would do the you would do equal zeros first inside its own set of parentheses. That's the word, parentheses. That's what I was thinking of earlier, not brackets. So you do equal 0, and then you do the command of AI living count, and then you specify which encounter or squad you want it to be defined. So another way of doing this that works would be just like this. It'd be equals AI living count, enemies, turret squad, 0. It has the same exact effect. It works. A little bit harder to read, but I mean, frankly, this shit is hard to read on its own because it doesn't make any sense. to me, at least. But this is gonna pause the script until the squad is out of guys, until 0 actors are left alive in it. And then after that, we do the exact same command we started with, AI follow target followers. So we assign the same encounter to start following you again, and then they will start running to the nearest set of firing positions to the player. And that's how that's done. Hopefully that made sense. I'm explaining it the best I can in like layman terms. I don't know, dude. I've been like messing around with some Unity shit and trying to script stuff. Like listening to programmers talk about programming has got to be one of the worst things in human history. So hopefully my bro logic works a little bit better than that. But now you compile your map. After you compile your script in Sapien, Control-Shift-C, and then make sure you save it afterwards. And then you compile it in the command prompt thing. And now we're going to go run it. And what should happen, the AI will follow me until that first trigger. They will stop. And then when I kill all 3 grunts, then they will start following me again. So let's do it. And as you can see, look at they're scripted to follow me right now, but they're not doing it. So that kind of makes me think that they're not able to jump between squads really easily. But they should be later. But maybe, I don't know, maybe from the start they just need a little kick to get them going. So when I go up to B here, they'll start following. And then when I go back to A, then they'll follow me to A. So I guess it's just like a little hiccup or something from the very start. But they're following me now, you know, at each firing position. At each set of firing positions, because they're all correlated with a single squad, so they can only possibly be in one set at a time, which gives the effect of them following. And here we go. And look at that. We got the turret manned, and there's 2 more grunts out there that will run in, or try to, as soon as that gun's empty. and the trigger, I believe they're in D right now. The trigger is right here. We walked into it, and they stopped following completely. We're in E now, and they're not even following. So now they're going to be in their return state until they're scripted to keep following again. So, when we kill him, another guy mans it, because we have that continuous script running. So, like, every 30 times each second now, the turret squad is getting the command to man that turret. But there's a guy already in it, so it doesn't do anything. But when I kill him, they got it right there. He jumps in. And when I kill him, and now the AI will follow me again. So yeah, it does look like they can jump between squads. They don't have to go linearly across, like, back and forth. So I guess the reason they didn't follow me at the very beginning there, I guess that must have been, like, just a little hiccup. But there we go, and now they'll follow me wherever the hell. They'll follow me all the way back to A, all the way back to G. Just like that. And then if you want them to stop following you again later on, you would just create another trigger, and then do a sleep until... Or you do a sleep until, then add the trigger volume, and then when the player enters that trigger, then the command after that would be AI follow target disable. Then you define the encounter of these guys, and then they'll stop following you when that happens. So, yeah, the sleep until command is very useful. It's very simple. I mean, I'm sure there are more easy things to use, but dude, I'm not a fucking programmer. I'm not a coder, man. I just reverse engineer this shit and try to get it to work. But yeah, here we go. So, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that made sense. I think that that covers everything. Shit, did I talk about not being able to help? Did I do that in the beginning? I don't know. If you're having serious trouble with this, the most helpful thing I can say is just rewatch the video and then just follow me as closely as you possibly can. Because when it comes to doing scripting and all this type of shit, there are so many things that could go wrong that I can't possibly, like... I'm gonna need a ton of information about what you did in order to actually help. Because there could be one thing wrong, there could be 5 things wrong, there could be 20 things wrong. There could be, like, one misspelling somewhere. It's I don't know, it's best just to follow as close as possible. That's all I can say. Because this stuff is pretty hard to nail down sometimes on what went wrong where. But, there we go. That is I guess a... Start following, stop following until this happens, and then start following again. So yeah, hopefully that helped. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that answered the GG Bond's question. Shit, I did like 2 recordings of this. I'm trying to forget, or I'm trying to remember what I said in the first one versus what I said in this one. But this was requested by GG Bond, and yeah. So, if you made it here, thank you for watching. If you watch any of my other stuff, thank you for watching that as well, and I will see you in whatever I decide to do next time. So thank you for watching.